my world to live. Yours must die.
Hey everyone, what's going on? You already know who it is. It's your favorite internet sweaty, your boy Mikey Savage 21, bringing you another movie review. And today I'm going to be reviewing the 5th installment of the Transformers franchise. This one is entitled The Last Night, and it stars Mark Wahlberg, Stanley Tucci, Josh Duhamel, John Turturro, and Anthony Hopkins. And this basically is supposed to mark the culmination of the writer's room that was combined together a couple of years ago. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it's gonna be hard to kind of describe this movie and what the basic through line was, so I'm gonna do my best because I'm still a little confused. I just saw this movie last night. So the humans are basically at war with the Transformers, and Optimus Prime is gone, as you saw from the last movie, and basically the key to surviving the future lies in the secret past and the hidden history of the Transformers on Earth. And now it's up to the unlikely alliance of Cade Yeager, Bumblebee, an English lord, which is played by Anthony Hopkins, and an Oxford professor played by Laura Haddock, to save the world. Now, if that doesn't sound very confusing, then I don't know what does. Like I said, this movie is very confusing, and I just saw it last night, and I've had a few hours to process it, but this movie was bad. This movie was absolute garbage. To me, I think it's the worst one I have seen so far from the Transformers franchise. And there and again, if you're a Transformers fan, I know I certainly am, and I keep buying into it and going and seeing these movies, but there was bad. It was really bad. Going on to some positives though, I'm gonna try to find some positives. One of the positives I'll say is some of the action scenes look really good. Like seriously, the action scenes actually look spot on, look on point. I thought the use of I don't want to give too much away, but there's one of the Transformers who has like this gun, which is like an anti-gravity gun, and he like shoots it and it makes people float for like a few minutes or a few seconds for however long that bubble lasts. And I thought that was a really cool scene to throw in with the different action scenes and the different explosions as well. And one of the other things that I want to say is I gotta credit them on the lore that they set up in this film. If you guys don't know, and it's revealed in the trailer, they're trying to bring in the old King Arthur legend into this movie, and I thought that was actually some of the better parts when they went back in time and they were showing us flashbacks of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, and how King Arthur originally discovered Merlin, and how Merlin got his magic, but what we refer to as magic is really actually just technology given to us by the Transformers. So I thought those sequences were really put cool as well. Other than that, that was it. Now, as far as negatives go, I could talk for hours and hours and hours, but I'm just gonna pick just a few specific things. One, the plot made absolutely no sense. It made absolutely no sense, and it sounded like a bunch of people just threw out ideas and say, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this, and then they said instead of picking one of those ideas, they just combined them into one big long movie, which was very dumb on their part. Anthony Hopkins in this movie did not need to be in this movie. For me, Anthony Hopkins did not work in this movie, especially when they tried to have him be like the funny man and saying these one-liners, and it's just like, no, this doesn't work. And speaking of one-liners, there's a whole crap ton of one-liners they try to throw at you in this movie that do not work. Mark Wahlberg, you can tell that he was not dialed in, and that he definitely does not want to come back to this franchise. His character felt very one note, but he felt like he was doing this out of obligation because he's like, well, I signed on for a however many picture deal, I guess I still got to do this. The little girl lead in here, did not care about her, did not need to see her in this movie. I'm not saying that she was a bad actor, but she absolutely had nothing to do in this movie except for basically be there sometimes. The Transformers themselves always look cool. We got introduced to some new Transformers, but you know, some of them still seemed a little racist, some of them still seemed a little pointless and a little bit useless in my opinion. And then of course the random explosions every 5 minutes got on my nerves after a while. I know this is a Transformers film and it's built on explosions and everything, but sometimes it just seems like things were exploding just to explode. Again, the lore that they tried to set up did not work. It just convoluted things. They were trying to borrow ideas from the original films with Cybertron apparently coming to Earth and attacking Earth. Didn't they try to do that, I think, in the second or third film? I don't know. At this point, they're all starting to mesh together. But overall, this film was just bad. Just seriously bad. It has got to be one of the worst films I have seen this year. This just felt like a bunch of white noise, and it felt like a bunch of random scenes just put together. Again, the plot made absolutely no sense. The characters felt like they had nothing to do. And then when we asked for more Transformers and more Optimus Prime, nope, we don't get that. We get not that much Optimus Prime. We barely get any Optimus Prime almost. We get about as much of him as we did Joker in the Suicide Squad movie. So for me, this movie was just bad. I can't recommend you go see it unless you're a completist and you've seen all the other Transformers films. Then by all means, go to the theater, watch it. I don't expect you to go pay and see it in IMAX 3D. I certainly did not, and I'm so glad I did not. But then if you're also a Transformers fan, you can get some enjoyment out of this well, especially when Optimus Prime and some of the other Autobots and Decepticons are on screen. And again, some of the King Arthur lore is kind of cool, the way they tie it in with the Transformers franchise. But other than that, I cannot recommend anybody go see this film. And as far as a score goes, I'm definitely having to give this thing a solid 3 out of a 10. I'm sorry, guys. This has got to be the worst one of them all, and I have not even had a chance to review all of the other films, but I can tell you now, this is at the bottom of the barrel. The first one is ultimately, to me, would be a solid 8 out of a 10, and then everything just falls below that. But what did you guys think of Transformers The Last Night? Do you guys plan to go see it? Have you seen the other Transformers films? Do you think this is the worst one of them all? Do you think we're still gonna get more Transformers movies besides the Bumblebee spinoff? Let me know down in the comment section below. As always, if you enjoy the content, please make sure you like, comment, and share, and also subscribe to the channel. And when you subscribe, don't forget to press that little bell so you can be notified every time I drop a video or a discussion or a game playthrough. And as I always say, remember to become a savage, stay a savage, and peace out, y'all.